Seeing faces in the clouds. An introduction to pareidolia. Have you ever gazed at the clouds and seen fantastic shapes? Maybe you've spotted a fluffy dragon soaring across the sky, or a majestic horse galloping through the heavens. Or perhaps you've seen a familiar face, like that of a friend or a celebrity, peering down at you from the clouds. This fascinating phenomenon is known as pareidolia. It's the tendency for our brains to perceive meaningful images in random patterns, turning the abstract into the recognizable. Pareidolia is a common human experience, and it tells us a lot about how our brains work. It reveals our innate ability to find order in chaos and to seek out familiar forms in the unfamiliar. But pareidolia isn't limited to clouds. It extends far beyond the sky. We see faces in everything from toast to textured walls, from the front of cars to the patterns in wood grain. It's the man in the moon, the Virgin Mary on a grilled cheese sandwich, and even Bigfoot sightings. These instances capture our imagination and often become part of cultural lore. These seemingly random images spark our curiosity and imagination, making us wonder about the stories behind them. Pareidolia is more than just a fun quirk of the mind. It's a window into the human psyche and our need to find meaning in the world around us. It's a testament to the incredible power of the human brain to find patterns and make sense of the world around us, showcasing our remarkable ability to connect the dots and create a coherent picture from seemingly random elements.
The psychology of pareidolia. Our brains seek meaning. Our brains are constantly searching for patterns, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. It's an evolutionary advantage, helping us to make quick decisions and survive in a complex world. This ability to recognize patterns quickly can mean the difference between life and death. Recognizing faces in particular is crucial for social interaction. It allows us to identify friends, foes, and potential mates. This pattern-seeking tendency extends beyond faces. We see familiar shapes in clouds, rocks, and even in the way shadows fall. We see connections and meaning where none exist. Our minds are wired to find order in chaos. Random noise becomes a melody, and coincidences become signs from the universe. This is our brain's way of making sense of the world. Our brains crave order, and pareidolia is one way we impose order on a chaotic world. It helps us feel more in control. Psychologists believe that pareidolia is driven by our need to find meaning and connect with others. This need for connection is deeply rooted in our social nature. We are social creatures, and recognizing faces is essential for social bonding. It helps us navigate our social environments and build relationships. Wired for faces. The fusiform face area. This fascinating part of our brain is crucial for our ability to recognize and remember faces. The fusiform face area is a region in the brain specifically dedicated to processing faces. It plays a vital role in how we perceive and interpret the world around us. Located in the fusiform gyrus, this area becomes highly active when we see a face. This activation is what allows us to quickly identify familiar faces in a crowd. It helps us distinguish between individuals and interpret facial expressions. This ability is essential for effective communication and understanding others' emotions. This specialized area highlights the importance of face recognition for our survival and social interactions. Recognizing faces helps us navigate social environments and build relationships. But the fusiform face area doesn't always get it right. Sometimes it can make mistakes in recognizing faces, leading to confusion. It can be easily tricked by vague shapes and patterns that resemble faces. This phenomenon shows how our brain is wired to prioritize face recognition. This susceptibility to error is what leads to pareidolia. Pareidolia is the tendency to perceive a familiar pattern, such as a face, where none actually exists. Our brains are so primed to see faces that we sometimes see them where they don't exist. This fascinating quirk of our brain highlights the complexity and importance of the fusiform face area in our daily lives.
Pareidolia can be found in some of the most unexpected places. From seeing the face of a famous figure on a piece of toast, to spotting a human-like face on the surface of Mars, our brains are constantly searching for familiar patterns. It's fascinating how our minds work this way, isn't it?
There's something, well, inherently enjoyable about pareidolia. It taps into our natural curiosity and our desire to find meaning in the world around us. When we recognize a face or a familiar shape in an inanimate object, it gives us a little spark of joy and wonder. It's almost like our brains are playing a delightful game with us.
You know, I once saw a face in a rock formation while hiking in the park. It was, really uncanny. For a moment, it felt like the rock was looking back at me. This experience, it stayed with me, reminding me of how our minds can find connections in the most unexpected places. It's something that continues to captivate and intrigue us.